Planning a trip to DC can be so overwhelming when you start factoring in hotel rates, parking costs, and dining out. But today, I'm breaking down every single dollar I spent on my 2-week trip to DC as a solo traveler in my 50s, including gas, food, getting around, and activities, so you can avoid the mistakes I made and plan your own affordable DC getaway. Let's start with getting there. I decided to drive. Usually, if I can get someplace within 1 day of driving, or if I'm going to be staying there for an extended period of time, like more than a week, I like to have my car available. It just gives me more flexibility. My round trip for gas came to $206.10. Tolls were a whopping $87.13, and my road trip snacks came to $53.13. Now, there's certainly flexibility there where I could cut down on some of the road trip snacks. I should have planned better and had some things available, but I just didn't get to it, so I wound up getting snacks along the way. So here are 2 budget hacks I used on the road trip. I arrived in DC the day before my house sit. It's just better so that I know that I'm going to get there in time to meet the homeowner and the pet and all of that. So I did have to stay in a hotel overnight, but I had a zero cost because I used my IHG credit card points and spent $0 on the hotel. And then for my way home, I just left in the morning and I just did a whole day trip because I could get home in the same day. It does make for a long day of driving. I stop frequently, but I was able to sleep in my own bed that night and I got to save my IHG points for the next trip. My biggest win of the trip was house sitting with trusted house sitters, which meant that my 2-week stay cost me exactly $0 in accommodations. House sitting is the single best way to eliminate your highest travel expense. Now let's talk about food costs. DC has amazing restaurants, but eating out every day will definitely drain your wallet fast. When I'm on an extended trip, I'm still working my 9 to 5 while I'm there. I'm just doing it from somewhere else. But I don't go out every day exploring, so I'm not eating out every day. And having a kitchen at a house sit is just so much easier, and I can save that cost and I can just eat at home when I'm not out exploring. I spent $135.63 on groceries for the 2 weeks. That just allows me to be able to go out to the nice dinners that I'd like to do and not have to worry about, can I afford to get dessert? I spent $381.66 on dinners at Succotash Prime, Founding Farmers, and Ben's Chili Bowl without ever feeling guilty. And here's a tourist pro tip. Watch out for those food truck prices because I wound up spending $10 on an ice cream cone outside the American History Museum. I thought for sure he gave me the wrong change. If you want the full review of places like Founding Farmers and Succotash Prime, I have a full DC food guide coming out with my honest 1 to 10 ratings on every meal I ate, including the $10 ice cream mistake. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. For transportation around DC, I just left my car parked at the house sit for the whole 2 weeks, which means I didn't have any extra gas costs and I didn't have to pay for expensive parking. Instead, I used public transportation and Ubers. I spent $7.25 on 3 bus rides, which was so easy to use. For longer trips or late at night, I took 7 Ubers for a total of $126.44, including the tips. I would have used the bus or the metro more often because it really was very easy to navigate in DC, but it was raining a few days and I just really prefer door-to-door service in those cases, so I put out the extra expense. For a solo travel safety tip, definitely when you're getting Ubers, try using the women-only drivers option because it really did make a difference for me in the evenings when I was coming home at dark. I felt much more comfortable. And here's why DC is such a great budget-friendly location. All the Smithsonian museums and all of the major outdoor monuments are completely free. My total activity spend for the whole 2 weeks was only $151.50. That covered my daytime trolley tour with the Arlington Cemetery add-on, plus my Monuments at Moonlight tour and a boat cruise on the Potomac at sunset. Paying for a guided tour is really just a no-brainer for me because I really like hearing the history, I like the safety, and just the convenience. Lastly, I spent $136.03 on souvenirs to bring home for my grandkids and for me, of course. I don't spend a lot of time shopping, but I do like to pick up some things for the kids and a couple of little remembrances for me. And of course, I have to get a travel magnet. My grand total for my 2 weeks in DC was $1,000 $285.47 for 2 weeks spent exploring a brand new city. At the end of the day, creating a travel lifestyle that's right for you isn't about having a massive budget. It's about being creative. When you stack remote work, house sitting, points, and just making smart choices, exploring expensive cities becomes possible. If you want to see where all of that food budget went, up next in my DC series, I'm taking you along on every single meal I ate with my honest ratings from 1 to 10, plus that $10 ice cream mistake that you need to see. Drop your budget questions in the comments, hit subscribe so you don't miss that food tour, and let's make midlife the adventure we choose. I'll see you in the next wandering video.